Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS reporters Tad Stefanak, Chris Flaherty, and Robert Paris. Peter Brown with the weather and Gretchen Carey with the community calendar. Thank you for joining us. Due to difficulty hiring the necessary drivers, the MBTA is decreasing the frequency of service for 43 bus routes in its system, including 3 that have stops in Burlington. Because of ongoing difficulties in hiring new bus operators, approximately 3% of scheduled T-bus trips did not occur over the summer months, the agency said in a press release. While the MBTA continues its aggressive hiring campaign, the MBTA is adjusting bus service on some routes beginning August 28th to better match scheduled service with the actual level of service being delivered. Since January 2022, the T has hired 150 bus operators and is in need of approximately 300 additional drivers. The routes in Burlington that will be affected are as follows. Route 350, frequency decreases in the outbound direction in the morning and the inbound direction in the evening on weekdays. This route starts at Alewife Station and enters Burlington through Cambridge Street. It then splits and both runs down Cambridge Street to the town center, ending at Chestnut Avenue, and goes down Mall Road and makes a loop around the Northwest Park development. Route 351, frequency decreases throughout the day on weekdays. This route is made up of 5 stops and runs from 3rd Ave down Middlesex Turnpike, ending at Bedford Woods Drive. Route 354, the 8:30 a.m. outbound and 9:40 a.m. inbound weekday trips are eliminated. 3 p.m. outbound and 4:10 inbound weekday trips are eliminated. This is the express bus to and from Boston with stops in Medford and Woburn. In Burlington, it enters via Cambridge Street and ends at Chestnut Ave. As reported on BNews, the MBTA is currently in the midst of its bus network redesign, a part of the broader $8 billion Better Bus project. The MBTA says the redesign is based on surveys and studies it has conducted, and the proposed new routes are designed to keep up with the times and offer the best service. For a complete list of routes that are changing, visit our website at bcattv.org/bnews. At a recent Thursday meeting, the Select Board heard a proposal to change the name of Network Drive to Blue Sky Drive. Attorney Bob Buckley of the firm Reamer & Bronstein addressed the board for the name change to the internal drive at Network Drive, formerly Sun Microsystems campus. Network Drive is a private drive and not a public thruway that wraps around the entire site. Buckley explained the reason for the name change. And I quote, "The history of the site was primarily computer-oriented and it is becoming more life science/biotech-oriented," Buckley continued. Their focus groups have indicated that Blue Sky is a more appropriate name. Buckley informed the board they've started coordinating with the public safety for 911 and fire, and will be working with the assessor's office as well. The Select Board approved the name change 5-0. All the new signage will comply with town bylaws or go through the process of applying for special sign permits through the Board of Appeals. The Greenway at Wayside Shopping Center was packed for the first ever Farmers and Artisan Market, which featured many small businesses from the Burlington community and beyond. The event was made possible through Wayside's partnership with Made in Burlington, which has a pop-up location at the shopping center. BNews reporter Chris Flaherty spoke to event organizers on the success of the event and possible future events at Wayside. Let's have a look.
The afternoon of Wednesday, August 24th, the Greenway at Wayside Shopping Center was packed with crafts and creations, fruits and vegetables, and even some furry friends for their first Farmers and Artisans Market. This event was made possible through Wayside's continued partnership with Made in Burlington.
So Made in Burlington, as you know, is a pop-up here at Wayside. They have great vendors there, and they really want to showcase everything that they have. So being the summertime, we thought doing a farmer's market and having artisans here together would be a great experience for the Burlington community and beyond.
We had the idea of doing a farmer's market when I did the outdoor marketplace last year. People were like, oh, can you do a farmer's market? Didn't have the place for it. I pitched the idea to Wayside and they were like, absolutely, let's run with it. Kristen, our vendor vixen, has been amazing. She put this all together. She just worked so hard. She contacted over 43 farms to get this put together for you guys. So I'm so excited more for her just to see everybody come out. As usual, Burlington has come through for us. We are so excited that you guys have come out and support more local businesses, everybody here, Made in Burlington, Wayside. Thank you so much, Wayside, for letting us run with this idea and being so supportive, and it's just been incredible.
The day's large turnout and the ongoing partnership between Wayside and MIB ensures more community events for residents to enjoy in the immediate future.
The fact that everybody's coming out just shows that you want this. So yeah, we definitely want to keep these events coming.
Wayside is really about bringing people to the center. We have great tenants here, great restaurants, great stores, lots of great services, and so our goal is to always bring more people to Wayside, bring the community together, and let them know everything that we have going on here.
Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNEWS Weekly.
Summer may be winding down, but the town of Burlington keeps the good times rolling in September with its community beer garden Thursdays at the newly transformed Pocket Park in Burlington Town Center. Beginning Thursday, September 8th, various Massachusetts-based breweries will pour their award-winning specialty drafts from 4:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Burlington's independent restaurants will also set up tables to offer signature dishes. Residents and friends of Burlington are also encouraged to purchase food and snacks from businesses along the Cambridge Street corridor and enjoy them at the Pocket Park. The event is both family-friendly and dog-friendly. Community Beer Garden Thursdays is part of Burlington's placemaking effort, which is people-centered approach to the planning, design, and use of public spaces. Through a collaborative process, doable improvements are identified and implemented that bring immediate benefits to the people who use these spaces. The Pocket Park was renovated from a concrete parking lot near 184 Cambridge Street into a playful public space with green turf. Building upon the success of the 2021 Beer Garden and Business Open House event, this weekly Thursday night event in September is expected to increase foot traffic and business activity in Burlington's town center. Placemaking in the town of Burlington is not just the act of building or fixing up a space. It is a process in which people feel a strong stake in their communities and commitment to making things better, said Melissa Tintakalis, Burlington's Economic Development Director. A portion of beer sales will be donated to Burlington's food pantry, People Helping People, which recently relocated to Murray Avenue in Burlington's town center. For a complete list of events and featured breweries, visit bcattv.org/bnews. Located in the district, Burlington, Row 34 is a premier destination for seafood lovers. In the last Chamber Spotlight, Sonia Rollins spends time with Chef Allison Boyd in the kitchen preparing a signature dish and gets a lesson in shucking their trademark Row 34 oysters. Let's have a look.
Hi everybody, Sonia Rollins here for Back Talk. Our foodie segment this month is one that I am super excited about. If you're an oyster lover, you're going to be just as excited as I am. Have you ever wondered how to shuck an oyster? Do you love them in restaurants but kind of think you want to try to be doing that in your own kitchen? Today's your day. We're going to learn how to do that here at Row 34, and we're going to see a few other ways to eat them as well. We're in the back with Chef, and we are at Row 34. You're going to make us some things. I'm in one of my favorite spots, Chef. Like, I love it here. So tell us what you're going to be making for us today.
Today we're just going to make what we call lettuce cups. It's just a quick fried oyster with some pickled vegetables and a nice togarashi aioli sauce on top. So I'm just taking these and I'm going to dust them in some rice flour, and then I'm just going to fry these bad boys up.
So how long do oysters take to fry?
Not very long, maybe a minute, maybe two, depending on how big.
This is a really interesting way you're doing it too. It's being fried, but it's not like a deep fryer. Like, people could do this at home.
Yeah, this is just same thing as a deep fryer. It's just on the tabletop. Yeah, this is totally something people can do at home very easily.
I'm noticing in the kitchen that there's someone frying the potato chips. Are they all house-made, your potato chips?
Yes, they are. They're sliced every day and fried every day. We do a blend of sweet potatoes, plantains, and tortilla chips for our ceviches.
I mean, I know we're here for oysters, but that's amazing.
You want to cook these so they get nice and little color on the outside and so they're fully cooked on the inside.
And there they are.
Whenever you fry things, always a little bit of salt to season. Lettuce cups, we're just going to take some Bibb lettuce here, some nice little cups. Now we have house-made pickled fennel and carrots. just a little bit. These are pretty powerful pickles. You don't need much. And my personal favorite, pickled red onions. These are cold pickled, so it helps them retain a lot of their crunch.
Yes.
And these are onions still through and through, so you only need a little bit. Then our oysters go right on top of that. It's a great appetizer to share. Something, different than most places have. This is togarashi aioli. We make an aioli first, and then we season it with lime juice, orange juice, and togarashi with sriracha as well. Togarashi is an Asian spice blend. It has orange peels in it, which really brings the citrus flavor. So a little bit on top, and that's it.
Beautiful.
Simple, but really flavorful.
If I worked here, I'd eat like 7,000 oysters a day.
So we have cocktail sauce here with a little bit of extra horseradish on the side.
Yep.
We've got your classic white wine mignonette with a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper on top, and shallots as well. And then over here we have what we call a spicy mignonette. So it's Fresnos with white wine and rice wine vinegar, topped with a little bit of cilantro. So it gives it a little nice kick to it. For oysters, obviously the first thing you need is have an oyster knife. Definitely a lot of different varieties out there. There's ones like this, nice comfortable handle, nice clip, like pointy tip. You got one more like this. It's a little bit more broad at the shoulders and comes to a tip. All of them work well. It's just whatever is more comfortable to you.
Okay, so it's not based on the oyster, it's based on the user.
No, yeah. With oysters, it's not about power. It's not about strength. It's a little bit like finesse. You could have someone this big shucking oysters faster than some guy this big. It's not about...
It's about knowing exactly where to do it.
Exactly. So this is the one I'm going to use. Very similar, kind of like a cross between these two. Has nice little grooves. The next thing, you need your oysters. These are the row 34s. You just want to make sure that you give them a nice good wash. They'll often come muddy, sandy, what have you. So you just give them a nice little rinse under the sink and just get most of that debris off. And then your major things that you're going to look for on your oysters is the hinge right here at the back of the oyster. That's where you're going to stick the knife. In each oyster, there is an abductor muscle. It's what controls it opening and closing in the water, and that's what keeps the two shells connected. So we're going to sever that connection, and that's how we pretty much open them. It will always be right here on this side of the oyster. It won't be here, 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 here. No, just always right here.
No matter what the oyster.
No matter what the oyster is. It's always going to be in this little corner right here. Next step is to grab your setup. So you get your knife. You're going to want a towel. We also have shucking gloves. They're kind of like a little bit durable, more stiffer, so if you accidentally miss, you're less likely to injure yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. We use a little towel method. So I got my towel here, put my oyster here. I'm going to bend this towel back like that. That way, if I miss, it goes into the towel. So first, I'm going to stick my knife right into the hinge. Like I said, it's not about power. Now, my knife is a little bit heavy, but you should be able to see how it just sticks in there?
Yes.
So just go in here, give it a nice little pop right there. Yeah. Look, I've already opened it. That's all you need. That little leverage, right? I take my knife out, give it a nice wipe. I don't want to force any of the shell that I just popped into my oyster. I want to keep it nice and clean. So I go back in there. Look at that, already in. This way I can hold it. I can just give it one twist up, right? I scrape along that top shell.
And the muscle goes.
And there it goes. And that's it.
Amazing.
I'm going to go then take my, glove or my finger, thumb. I'm just going to wipe down the excess. I don't want any of that shell, any of that grit that the oyster might have swallowed before it was harvested. You're going to take your knife and you're going to try to do it one clean cut. You're going to cut the abductor muscle on the bottom.
So there's one on the top, one on the bottom.
Yep, and that's it.
It's so impressive now that I'm watching you do this that there are that many people out there and we just say give me a dozen oysters, that's easy, and you have to do that to each one.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, right. Each every one. And but it's not that hard. Once you get the hang of it, it goes pretty fast. So like I said, knife right into that hinge, wiggle it in there, right? Look, I'm already in there. Yeah. That's all you have to do. Give it a nice pop up. A little twist to kind of pop that shell up. I like to put my thumb in there just to keep it open.
Yeah.
And I can get a nice good scrape on that top. And it releases that one right there. Turn it around, give it a nice swipe on here. I don't want to eat any dirt on my lips. And then one swift cut like that.
I hope you enjoyed today's segment as much as I did. If you have not been to Row 34, located at the District in Burlington, you are missing out. Please come down and join them. Try out the lettuce cups, try out the raw oysters, and if you're not a person who loves oysters, give them a run. I think you'll really enjoy them here. They have a full menu. There's something for everybody here. It is a great place not only in the summer, but all year long. For Back Talk, I'm Sonia Rollins.
Some of us chubby fellows would like to see a dozen or so of those fried oysters on that plate. The severity of the drought the Burlington area has been experiencing continues to be designated as a level 3 critical drought by the state. Many in the community are wondering how these drought conditions are affecting their water pressure. BNEWS inquired with DPW Director John Sanchez to get some answers. Drought conditions do not affect the water system pressure directly, he stated, but continue to explain that water use during a drought affects water pressure. The distribution system water pressure is independent of the amount of water stored in the reservoir, but it is related to how much water people use at a given time due to how hot it is or how dry it is. He also explained how pressure is created in the system. Water pressure fluctuates during the day depending on operations, which plants are running, total system demands, and water tank elevation. Part of routine operation is to cycle the water tanks, letting the tanks drop and then refill. This is done for water quality. During the times that the level of the tanks drop, the water pressure in the system would be lower. The state's Drought Management Task Force, which is composed of state and federal officials and other entities, will continue to meet until water levels return to normal in the affected regions. At the last meeting, there was no indication as to when the drought may end. On Saturday, August 28th, Temple Shalom Emeth held its annual open house. Members and guests of all ages were treated to a magic show by Danny the Magician and Alex the Ice Cream Truck, sponsored by Joanna Schlansky. Rabbi Susan Abramson and members of the Temple Board gave tours of the newly renovated building. The Temple's new rabbinic intern, Ben Einslider, as well as cantorial soloist Ben Silver, were there to greet people as well. Temple Shalom Emeth is the only Jewish house of worship in Burlington. It is a Reform liberal congregation which is open and affirming. If anyone would like more information about the temple or to sign up for its religious school or High Holy Day services, they are encouraged to check out the temple's website and Facebook page. Labor Day weekend may mark the official end of summer, but the high temperatures are here to stay for at least a little while. BNews weatherman Peter Brown has a look at the weather for the coming week. We'll also check out the community calendar with Gretchen Carey to see what's happening in Burlington.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown, focus your weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading into September. We are officially in meteorological fall and only a couple of weeks away from the start of official autumn. So really hard to believe that summer is really going into our rearview mirror right now. But we have some nice weather coming up again, so some nice late summer-like temperatures coming up out there. Now, starting out our period on Friday, we're going to be seeing temperatures pretty pleasant out there, very dry out there, which unfortunately is not the best news for our lawns and our water situation right now. We're going to see temperatures about 80 around there, so very pleasant out there. And then as we get towards the end of our period, getting in towards next Thursday, our average highs at this time of the year, getting towards the end of the first week of September, should be in the upper 70s to around 80, and will probably be a little bit warmer than that, probably in the mid-80s. So some nice, warm, late summer weather coming up. And of course, looking at our length of day, that keeps getting shorter and shorter as we head further towards fall. And actually, as we get into September, we lose quite a bit amount of daylight from the beginning of the month to the end of the month. So you'll definitely notice how short those days will be when we get towards the end of September. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at what the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us here in the Burlington area in terms of temperatures and precipitation. And looking at these maps, looks like we're going to be expecting a pretty average week coming up, temperature-wise and precipitation-wise as well. Unfortunately, we really need some heavy rain out there to try and get our reservoirs and rivers back up to where they should be, but it doesn't look like we're really going to be getting too much in terms of that. But at least the temperatures aren't going to be quite as high as they were back in August. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at those 7 days of weather coming up. And again, taking a look, starting out our period on Friday. Again, this is the beginning of that last gasp of summer. The Labor Day weekend, temperatures are going to be very pleasant out there, around 80, very dry, nice breeze out there. Now our temperatures as we get in towards the weekend are going to start to ramp up to about 90 by the time we get again towards Sunday. But then for the last day of the holiday weekend, Labor Day itself, the temperatures are going to come crashing down by about 10 to maybe 12 degrees, back into the upper 70s to around 80, so some nice, comfortable air out there. As we all head back towards work on Tuesday, we're going to be seeing temperatures pretty average again for this time of the year, right around 80, and then we're going to be bumping those temperatures back up into the mid-80s by the time we get to Thursday, and maybe some spot chances of showers on Sunday and Monday, but really doesn't look like much at all out there in terms of helping us in terms of our drought. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
Hi, I'm Amy Poehler, and you're watching BCAT. Go Red Devils!
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your community calendar. Burlington Community Beer Garden. Summer may be winding down, but the town of Burlington keeps the good times rolling with its community beer garden Thursdays in September at the newly transformed Pocket Park in Burlington's town center. Beginning Thursday, September 8th, 4:30 through 8:30 p.m., Massachusetts breweries will pour their award-winning drafts with Burlington's independent restaurants offering signature dishes. Football Comedy Night. On Saturday, September 10th, Friends of Burlington High School Red Devils Football are hosting a comedy night fundraiser featuring comedian Brad Mastrangelo at the American Legion at 162 Wynn Street. Doors open at 6 p.m. Show begins at 7 p.m. Visit the Burlington High School Red Devils Football Facebook page for tickets and more. Story Walk. September brings a new Burlington Public Library Story Walk at The Village at Burlington Mall. Bring the family and enjoy this outdoor self-guided reading tour. September's book is Eyes That Kiss in the Corners by Johanna Ho. While you're there, enjoy The Village at Burlington Mall and the variety of personal wellness services, casual dining, and retail concepts. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your community calendar.
Fall athletics at BHS have kicked off their practices and teams are eager to get their regular season underway. BNEWS sports reporter Robert Paris spoke to many Red Devil coaches on their hopes and plans for the coming months.
The school year is fast approaching, and many Red Devil teams are gearing up for the start of the 2022 fall season.
Well, I'm excited to get back to almost a normal season, okay? We're not asking questions, we're not putting masks on, and it's kind of nice to interact with the student. Golf's a very different season for me. It's more one-on-one. There's more individual stuff that we work on. But I'm really looking forward to getting this year started on a fresh note, and hopefully we'll continue that.
We have about 48 kids registered right now for the season, and we're looking to run all three teams, varsity, JV, and freshmen, like we've done. And we look forward to a really good competition year.
Yeah, our kids are excited, the school's excited, actually the town's excited, and I can't, that speaks volumes. So the kids are eager to get the season started, and and hopefully that pans out that we have success this year. But the kids are excited. I can't speak highly enough about this team. That's so much enthusiasm. They're excited to get the season started.
It's the best time of the year for me, running these kids through double sessions and having some fun and getting them ready to hopefully have a successful season. We're a really young team this year, which is good because the pipeline for the future looks really bright, and we have a lot of young, talented kids that are ready to work and buy into this program.
I'm really excited for the season. We have a really young team. We graduated 7 or 8 seniors last year, so it's going to be a totally new lineup, which is always exciting.
There are a number of new coaches for fall 22. In addition to George Balian, Jess McCarthy is now the head coach of girls cross country, previously coached by Christina DeCroce. Taking the turf for girls soccer is Daniela D'Souza, formerly coached by Matt Angelo. Taking over former coach McKay's spot is George Balian. Lastly, we have Courtney Eisenberg, who is taking over for former Rachel Gould of the girls swim team. We look forward to seeing everyone compete this fall. I'm Robert Paris for BNews Sports.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo features a furry, four-legged friend excited to see all his friends again after summer vacation. It was sent in by Pine Glen Elementary School Principal John Lyons and features him with the school's therapy dog, Champ, on the first day of school. Thanks for the photo, John. If we'd like to see your photos, they could be of your summer activities, families, friends, and pets, so whatever you think is interesting and like to share. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject Photo of the Week. We'll close out this week's broadcast with some more photos from the first day of school earlier this week, featuring students and staff returning to Pine Glen Elementary and Marshall Simons Middle School. And a quick reminder that the September primary election is this upcoming Tuesday, September 6th. Polls will be located at Burlington High School and open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. There are contested races on both the Republican and Democratic ballots, so make sure you get to the polls. That's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with Tad Stefanak, John Vias, Robert Paris, Peter Brown, and Gretchen Carey. Thank you for joining us.